Hello, this is Resilan Bearcat, and welcome to City Skylines 2.
Economy 2.0. We're going to be taking a look today at some new player tips and suggestions that I have. You can see here in my game that I am at level 8, which is Big Town, and I've picked up a couple of tips that I think might be useful to other people who are just getting started on the game. So first and foremost, let me show you something that we have. When you go into the game options and you load your game, you can pick your game that you have, and there's a map options button here that you want to pick. I would recommend picking map option, and I recommend unlocking map tiles. This actually removes the upkeep cost from the game for the tile upkeep cost. You can see I do not have that turned off in my game, and if we look at my budget and we come to tile upkeep, I have 4 tiles unlocked and I'm paying $82,000 a month for that. So that's actually downward pressure on my budget. For new players, I recommend turning that off. Number 2, I actually recommend expanding slowly. When you start building the game, go slower. If you've played before, go slower than you have gone in the past. You don't have as much if we unlock points. If we look at the progression and we look at the milestones, you only get 25,000. It is increasing it by 25,000 each time, but this used to be 600, 700, 800, and a million. It's now 25, 50, 75, and 100,000. So you're not going to get near as much money when you're going through the different progression levels. So expand slowly. The third tip that I have picked up is expect services to cost many times what they actually show in your upkeep window. So if I go in here to, let's take garbage management as an example, and I come in here to a landfill, it's going to cost $70,000 to place it, and it's going to cost an upkeep $15,000 a month, and it will process 100 tons. If I come over here and look at my landfill with a few upgrades here, you can see that it is costing $879,000 a month. Now, a large portion of this is actually these hazardous waste facilities that I have, and I'm actually still filling up my landfill here. So the hazardous waste facilities are costing $144,000 each. But even if you back all of that out, this thing is still costing me about $156,000 a month just for the landfill. So I mean, like I said, that is way more than the $15,000. You have to pay employee wages. That increases the cost, and it can sometimes be 2, 3, 4, sometimes even as much as 10 times as much. So that is something that you're going to want to keep an eye on and be careful about, and then what you're doing. Number 4, I recommend at the beginning of the game to use the cheapest options available to you for power and for water and things like that. So when we go into power, that means the cheapest option for power is wind turbine. That is cheaper than importing the power. I do recommend doing the wind turbine. That's not a bad choice. This particular city right here is using 18 megawatts. 18 megawatts can be done by 4 wind turbines. 4 wind turbines would cost $100,000, and the upkeep is 4 times 6, 24, 20. Let's just call it 26,000. That would be 26,000. The small coal power plant also would cost $100,000 to put it down, but the upkeep cost would be much, much more. I actually have one of those. We can look at what that upkeep cost is. It's right over here. There it is. Upkeep cost $110,000. So the wind turbines will save you money on your monthly budget as opposed to other things. Importing it is another option, but it is very expensive to import power and things like that. So I don't recommend doing it more than in the short term. Number 5. Delay adding service upgrades. I know that many of us like to come in here for aesthetic reasons, and we place our elementary school, and then we want to place our elementary school, and our playground. We look at the playground, it adds plus 10% well-being. It only costs $2,500 a month. It costs $24,000. It's a no-brainer. Add it, right? Wrong. That is not what you want to do. You'll notice that that playground cost me $137,200 a month. Yes, the maintenance is $2,500, but the playground monitor that's standing on the playground watching the kids is costing us a whole bunch of money. At least I can only assume that's the only way I know of to get to $100,000, $140,000 for a playground. Just suspend all logic. When you're playing this game, it's not going to make any sense. That's what the numbers work out to be. Makes the entire school $424,000 for that elementary school. It's expensive. Number 5, Add services only when it has a large negative impact on your morale. Pay attention down here to the happiness meter. Take a look at what they're unhappy about, and don't just actually give them, services just because they were unlocked. When you unlock them, if you put services down as soon as they're unlocked, you'll be bankrupt by milestone 4. I recommend only placing the services when you start to see it having a huge impact, a huge negative impact to be precise, on the happiness factors for your city. As long as you can counter those things in some other way, don't worry about it. Delay putting services in. Take the money, let your budget build up. The more that you build up the budget, the more you can add things later on that are going to cost a significant amount of money, like police headquarters at 2.1 million credits.
That is all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think. Please subscribe to the channel to be notified when new content is available, and check out the links shown here for more gameplay. Take care.